Deciding to move abroad can be empowering. I am super excited about the thought of moving abroad. However, as a solo traveler, I am a 50 plus woman. I'll be traveling alone. I'll literally be living in another country for however long that's going to be. There are some things that we have to think about. We have to consider, and we have to make sure that we do before we take this journey. And so I have a checklist. I suggest you get a checklist. Number one is moving abroad. You want to make sure that you choose your top destination, right? So, of course, we have to consider that. Where are you going to live? And there's going to be some deciding factors when it comes to deciding where you live. So one for me, the huge thing is safety, right? As a solo woman, you want to be able to feel good about walking down the street at night. If you have to go, you feel like you want to go get something to eat and it's 9 o'clock in the evening, you want to feel like, okay, I can still go outside and get something to eat without getting knocked in the head and my purse getting taken or, anything happening to you. So safety for me is a number one thing. Where am I going that I can feel comfortable there and feel like I'm going to be okay? Number two is the community aspect of it. You got to, understand we're moving solo. We are going to be women abroad by ourselves. And it's bad enough that you're leaving your family, right? You're leaving your family, friends, whatever that looks like for you. And you want to be able to get over there and not be secluded. Because I can imagine, I've never done it before, but I can imagine that if you go to an entirely different country, especially if you're going somewhere like I am, like Thailand, that you might feel a little lonely. So you definitely want to be in a place where you can feel like you can build some sort of community of women, men, just people that you can, talk to. If you're feeling down, you're feeling lonely, if you start to feel that, what do they call that when you go to a different country and you just feel a little bit of an outsider, so to speak, you definitely want to be able to know that you can have a community of people that you can talk to, spend time with, have fun with, enjoy the country with. So that's a big thing. Healthcare. How is the healthcare there in that country? Is it really good healthcare, or is it, not so good? Is it mediocre? So healthcare is especially at our age, we have to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, right? And if we are in need of healthcare, we want to know that it is available to us. It is good healthcare, and and maybe not super expensive. Infrastructure is huge for me because I want to be able to talk on my phone, work on my laptop. Well, I want to be able to get on a bus or catch a Uber or whatever it is. I want to know that the roads are well maintained or structured. I want to know that the infrastructure is good. I don't want to go to a place where the lights are constantly going out. I don't want to have to worry about that. So infrastructure is important. Now, some places that are recommended for solo female travelers over 50 are Portugal, Spain, Costa Rica. Those are three places that are come highly recommended. I'm not going to any of those places, but that's what is said to be like some of the top places. And I think it might have to do with it not being as far as a place like Thailand. The flight is not as far. So that might have a lot to do why those countries instead of somewhere like Thailand. Now, number two is the pathway to your visa, right? So I mean, we have to consider why we're moving and what we're going to do long term in these countries. We're not just going over there to do the visa runs all the time, right? So you want to be able to get into the country and feel comfortable about being able to stay there long term. So a couple of ways to be able to do that is digital nomad, which is how I think I'm going to start out. And then the retirement visa, which looks different for whichever country that you decide to go to. So you want to consider what those rules and regulations are when it comes to obtaining a visa, whether again it be nomad, whether it's a school visa, whether it's a retirement visa. You want to know what that looks like. Is there a cost for a certain amount of money maybe that you have to be making for a retirement visa? Um, you really want to research that and know which visa pathway you're going to take. Again, for me starting out, I want to do the digital nomad visa and, continue to work for a while and then consider retirement visa. Number three, make sure you're tying up loose ends here in the United States. Don't just leave without, paying off debt that you might have, understanding what your tax implications are. I'm not a tax consultant. I don't know anything about it. That's all. I just read about it. And that's all. I keep seeing a lot of that, making sure that you understand what that looks like for you living in another country, because a lot of times you still have to pay taxes in the United States because technically you are still a United States citizen. So will you be paying tax here and taxes in the country that you live in? That is something that you want to look at. Make sure that you are paying off debt. Don't go to another country and still have to worry about a bunch of debt here in the United States. Try to pay down your credit cards, pay off if you still have car notes, things like that, house notes, whatever it is, pay those debts down. And so more of your money is going in your pocket and going further when you're living in these other countries, and you don't have to worry about having to send money back to the US to pay off debt. And number four, again, going back to the community, make sure you are joining an expat community before you even leave the United States. Go on Facebook, whatever country you're thinking of going to. Look at women who are moving or have moved already to those countries and start building contacts and relationships with those people, so that when you get there, again, you already have a tribe of women that you can reach out to, talk to, that might be able to answer some questions for you. Just support. It's very important. Even though we go places as solo women who decide to travel solo, we're already a different breed of women, right? But that doesn't mean that we want to be solo all the time, right? That doesn't mean that now life is just about being all by ourselves all the time. No, it just means that we're not taking people with us, right? We don't have kids, we don't have husbands, but that does not mean that we do not want to be around a community of people. And so, and I think it is extremely important to have that wherever you go. So meeting new friends, building new communities is muy importante. So make sure you do that. Consider the language. Consider the language. This is number five. Consider the language of where you're going to, because you got to think about it. We're in our 50s. Do we want to have to take on another language? And maybe you do. Or maybe you already know another language and you're okay with going to a place that might require you speaking more Spanish or, more of another language. Me personally, I don't really want to have to do that. So I'm really looking at places where I can speak English more often than not. I definitely want to learn a little bit of the language just out of respect for the culture and the country that I'm going to. I want to be able to speak a little bit of the language, but I don't want to have to be full blown. I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know. Right now, I just don't want that to be a huge concern of mine. I want to be able to speak to people in English and not feel like, you know, I'm doing something wrong. I know that you could use the app. People always tell me, oh, you could just use the app, but I don't know. I don't really want to have to worry about that. I will if I have to, but I don't want to have that be like a big thing for me while I'm traveling. So as far as livability, I don't want to live in a place where where I can't understand, I can't communicate. That's just me. So again, ladies, make sure you have your checklist. Make sure you are, studying up on these things. Give yourself a little time. I haven't given myself a lot of time, to be totally honest. I just kind of bought my ticket willy nilly one day. I was just like, you know what? I'm about to buy my ticket right now. And I did it. And so from the time I bought my ticket to the time I'm leaving is 4 months. I don't feel like that's a whole lot of time, but it becomes overthinking at some point, right? Get the rules and get the basic stuff. And then you're going to have to just figure out some of it as you go along, right? You're not going to know everything. If you want to know everything before you go, you're going to end up hindering yourself. You're going to take longer than you need to. You're going to keep putting it off. So just get the basic information that you need for the country that you're thinking you want to live in, pinpoint it and go. Don't overthink it. All right. That's all I got for you ladies today. Make sure you are joining the channel. Let's get this channel to 500 subscribers. Let's be a community of women who support each other in moving abroad or, just traveling abroad in general. If you are considering moving to Thailand soon, let me know because, hey, we need to hang out. We need to have some lunch. We need to go have some fun. We need to do something. So if you are one of the ladies who are moving to Thailand or Southeast Asia in general, we can always hook up. So leave it in the comments. Make sure you're subscribing, like, share. I think I got everything. I'll talk to you ladies soon. Love you.